ॐ जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ. Om. O gods, may we always hear with our ears what is auspicious. O worshipful ones, may we with our eyes always see what is auspicious. May we live our allotted life hale and hearty, offering our worship unto thee. May Indra of ancient fame bestow auspiciousness on all of us. May the all-nourishing portion be propitious to all of us. May Garuda, the destroyer of all evil, be well disposed towards all of us. May Brihaspati ensure all our welfare. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto all. As I mentioned yesterday, from today onwards, we are going to study a beautiful Upanishad called Kaivalya Upanishad. The very name of the Upanishad, Kaivalya, means mukti. Kevala bhava. Kevalata means alone, one without a second, absolutely solitary, pure Advaita bhava. The very name of the Upanishad is that knowledge which leads to this state of being ourselves, that is called Kaivalya or Moksha Upanishad, if you want to put it simply. This is not considered as a major Upanishad, but considered only as a minor Upanishad. It has only one chapter and only 26 verses. But the entire Vedanta philosophy is compressed, as it were, here. And even this Upanishad, Kaivalya Upanishad, it borrows lot of these mantras from other places. When we go through them, we will find out that many times we have heard this in other Upanishads under other circumstances. Now, there are two versions are there. Just as we have Yajur Veda, two versions, Krishna Yajur Veda and Shukla Yajur Veda. This Kaivalya Upanishad also has two versions. One belongs to the Yajur Veda, specifically to the Krishna Yajur Veda, and the other comes in the Atharva Veda or Atharvana Veda. So as I just now mentioned, what is the etymology? Do you know what is etymology? What is the meaning of the word derived? What is the root meaning of the word? That's called etymology. So for example, Munihi, a sage. What is the etymology? Mananat Munihi. He who is completely absorbed in deeply thinking, therefore doesn't speak out. That is what is we observe as maunam. So that is why he is called Munihi. What is Rishihi? Rishati, Janati, iti rishihi. One who knows the highest truth is called rishihi. So, acharya. What is it? Acharati iti acharya. One who puts into practice what he preaches, teaches to his devotees and disciples. Such a person alone is worthy of being called a acharya. So everything has got a root meaning. This is the beauty of Sanskrit language. Every single word is derived from a root. So Kaivalya means from Kevala. Kevala means aloneness, isolation, absoluteness. And so it also means to the conduct of a person who wants to be alone with God, not alone with some beloved object. No, alone with God and want to be completely absorbed into God. That is called absoluteness. It is a beautiful Upanishad. So these two shakhas are there. Krishna Yajur Veda Shakha has 26 verses. This Atharva Veda has only 24 verses. And this Upanishad, like Katha Upanishad, like many other Prashna Upanishad or Aitareya Upanishad, many other Upanishads, is in the form of a dialogue. So why is it dialogue? I will come to that later on. It is like sitting and two people talking together, teacher and disciple, child and mother or father, student and teacher, two friends. In fact, the whole Bhagavad Gita is in the form of a dialogue between Bhagavan Krishna and Arjuna. So it is in the form of a dialogue. Many Upanishads are, whether it is mentioned or not, in the form of a dialogue. Because a true teacher never goes on telling without being asked. So, and it also has a lot of benefits. I will come to that later on. So, this Upanishad is a dialogue, a discourse between Guru and a disciple. Who was the Guru? Brahma himself. In our Puranic lore, in the Puranas, Brahma, Dirgha A means creator, Saguna Brahma. But if it is Brahma, short, only short vowel A, it means Parabrahman. Yes, true. He is neither the creator nor in any way active. So this distinction, because Nirguna Brahma doesn't have ears, doesn't have eyes, doesn't have any sense organs, doesn't have a mind. So you apply and apply, there would be no reply at all, because he cannot hear like a stone. So only a Saguna Brahma, and we have seen Brahma Devanam Prathamaha. So Saguna Brahma is the very first. When Arjuna refers to Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, that you are Adi Karta, you are the first person, the creator, a active person in the form of creation, maintenance, and destruction. He is referring to the Saguna Brahma, not to the Nirguna Brahma. You are the father. Pitasi lokasya chara charasya. You are the father. You are the cause. You are the yoni of this entire universe. So there was a great sage, very great sage, a great rishi. His name was Asvalayana. And he approached Srishtikarta Brahma. Why? He wanted to learn Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidya cannot be learned from a Brahman. We are all a Brahman, Anatmans. If somebody comes and asks me, teach me about God, I can teach you anything else, but not about God. Only God can teach about God. And anyone who realizes God becomes a God. This name, Asvalayana, it comes in many places in the Rig Veda. He was the author of many of the mantras. We do not know whether these mantras came after realization, most probably. But many are attributed to him. He was a very great sage, very intelligent person, and only an intelligent person can understand about Brahma Vidya, or even if you want to understand Einstein, you have to be one of the 8 persons in the whole world. Only it is said one of the 8 persons, he was capable, they were capable of understanding Einstein's theory of special relativity. So Ashvalayana approached Brahma for Brahma Vidya because this Brahma is an embodiment of Brahma Vidya. Why? Because he is only a manifested form of Brahman. And so, what is this ultimate reality? It is called Brahman. And that is the state of self-realization. So, this Ashvalayana, he must have been a fit student. He approached. And then what did he say? He said, Adhi Bhagavo Brahmeti. Please teach me about Brahman. That's what we will come later on. Now the question may come, this Ashvalayana, he was such a learned person. Why did he need? He was a very intellectual person. But he was not a God realized person. How do we know? Because a God realized person doesn't approach another God realized person. You teach me about Brahman. One who knows anything will not approach anybody else. You teach me this one. Only those who do not know, they have to approach. So this also reminds us, what does it remind? This Brahma Vidya can never be learned, can never be understood, excepting when we are in a fit state to receive it. We must approach a proper guru and fall at his feet, and very beautiful indications are given. I will give you one or two. First, I will give you from the Mundaka Upanishad. Samit Pani Shrotriyaha Brahmanishtaha. So there was a student. He was a Shrotriya. That means Shrotriya means he who is very familiar with the Shrutis. What does it mean? He doesn't know what we call the Antarartha, the inner meaning. He knows only the outer meaning. But he has studied, he had faith, and he had a desire. How do we know? Because suppose somebody tells us such and such a place, a beautiful fruit, very, very fragrant, tasty, or a sweet is available. Now, we do not know such a thing really exists. All that we know is that we have faith in the person who conveys that knowledge to us, and the Guru and the Acharyas tell us about Brahman. That is the only thing real, permanent, and that is the only thing which will fulfill all our desires. So then we must have Shraddha, pure faith. So this person, he had approached, and we have several instances how to approach Samit Panihi. Brahmanishta means totally devoted to Brahman. Nishtha means what? Not a realized soul, but completely devoted. Nishtha means devotion. unwavering, unflickering, unrestless. That means complete at rest, full concentration, and full faith, and that is called nishtha, like Ekalavya. So, Samit Panihi. He must approach the Guru with Samit. Panihi means hand, Samit means dry wood, fuel. Why? Because in those days, many rishis used to perform yajnas and yagas. Even though they are realized souls, they used to do it for the welfare of all people. You know, so every time we perform a homa in our ashramas, the sankalpa would be for the bhakti, jnana, viveka, vairagya, for the sake of acquiring all these marvelous spiritual characteristics, but not for me, not for only monks, but for all the devotees. Whoever gathers here, whoever is witnessing, as if they are participating and they are doing sankalpa, only I am doing it on behalf of all these people. In fact, every priest, he has nothing to gain. It's not a selfish puja. So he does puja from morning till evening, but he is doing it for the welfare of everybody. That whether even if a person doesn't visit the temple, but mentally he is thinking of God and he mentally is visiting the temples for the welfare of everybody. That's why he is called Purohita, employed as a medium to approach God, to worship God, to adore God, to pray to God for the welfare of everybody else. So, Samit Panihi means what? A person who is completely devoted. What is the test of such devotion? Samit Panihi is acharyas, rishis, they use it to perform. Remember, Vishwamitra wanted to perform what is called Sarva Lokahita Yajna in the Ramayana. But there are evil people who don't want the welfare of the country at all, welfare of the world, only for themselves. They are called asuras. Asura means a selfish person totally devoted to the satisfaction of his own sense organs. Asureshu ramate iti asuraha. So, asuhu means prana. Prana means indriya. One who rebels in the fulfillment of sense enjoyment, such a person, that means completely selfish person, that means the body alone is the greatest God and nothing else. Such a person is called a asuraha. So what happens to them? That once they go, what happens? They are like people who commit suicide, as Ishavasya Upanishad tells us. Now, Samit Panihi, these great people used to do perform yajna yaga, and different people used to supply. Some bring cows. Many times, kings, etc., they used to maintain, like Yagnivalkya wanted to take all the cows. What was he going to do? Because he wants to do lot of yajnas, yagas, maintain the students through milk, through curds, through buttermilk, but mainly to do. And we must remind ourselves. Swami Vivekananda, once he visited Pauhari Baba in Gazipur. It is from Varanasi, about 1.5 hours to 2 hours away. And Swamiji admired. He was a perfected yogi. And he used to do yajnas yagas. And once Swamiji noticed this Pauhari Baba, he had decorated Radha and Krishna in a swing. And then he was swinging joyfully after decorating. Swamiji was a little bit surprised, shocked. Why do you need to still perform these rituals? And Bhavari Baba smiled sweetly and said, "Do you think whatever we do is only for one's own purpose?" And Swamiji understood. It is meant for the welfare of the whole world. And by the way, this Pavahari Baba, he finally offered himself in the self-immolation in a yajna. He performed a yajna. Final offering was his own body because he was a realized soul. So now Samit Pani means firewood is to indicate we are ready to assist you, to serve you, Guru Seva, in every way that is possible. This is superficial meaning, but there is a inner meaning. What is the fuel used for lighting up the fire? What for fire is used? To cook food and to make hard things soft, etc. That means what? We are ready to sacrifice ourselves in order to obtain this knowledge. We will burn down our selfishness, our evil qualities, asuric qualities, labbaha, tarpaha, abhimanaha, as beautifully described so much in the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, but in simple summarization form, Shadurmi, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, then only we become Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannaha. We are ready to control and purify our body and minds. That is the indicated by Samit Pani. So Asvalayana must have approached this whom Brahmaji himself. Why? Brahma is one who is an embodiment of Brahmagnanam, but he is doing what was he doing? The good of the world. This entire world he created, God created for making roasting us, for making us suffer. He will be sitting and clapping. Whenever we see a cinema, we'll be doing it. No, that is not the purpose. Out of pure love, he wants to make the world an instrument, not only the external world, but our body, mind, everything, so that we can slowly approach him. This idea that separation is for the sake of greater happiness we can get through union. That is what exactly is meant. Samit Pani. Now, if, I mentioned something. Asvalayana was a great revered Vedic sage, and he was the author of many mantras in the Rig Veda. Why such a person needed to go? Because intellectual knowledge, however deep it is, however right it is, however rational it is, not sufficient. Realization is the only way. We are reminded every time, reminds us of Narada and Sanat Kumara. In the Chandogya Upanishad, we have beautiful illustrations of in the, I think, most likely, I forget, the 7th chapter of the Chandogya Upanishad, there is a Narada Sanat Kumara Samvada. Narada, as a student, approached Sanat Kumara and falls at his feet. So, Adi Bhagavo Brahmeti, please teach me about Brahman, or give me self-knowledge, Atmagnanam, Brahmagnanam, and Sanat Kumara, the Guru, asks him, tell me whatever you know. And you know, most surprising thing, I am a living encyclopedia. He doesn't say that. We have to say that. He knows all the Vedas, all the Vedangas, all the 64 kalas. There is nothing in this world. Chandogya Upanishad goes into the greatest detail. He knows how to sing, how to dance, and how to, he has even some siddhis, like he can look into the earth and where different minerals are there. So if China gets hold of such a person, so where to get this nuclear material if Iran can get hold of that one? So whether gold is hidden, treasures are hidden, and many treasures are really hidden there. Funny things happen, when Rama's army has swooned. Then there was a physician. What does it show? That every army in war, what we call nowadays Red Cross, had to be taken. So Rama also, along with Sugriva, had taken lot of physicians there. So one of the physicians, probably Jambavan, and he had, because they were living in the forest and they know many of these Ayurvedic medications. So he said, these people are not dead, but they only merely swooned. I can bring back to life all of them, but I require this thing. So where is it? It's available only in Himalayas. So how to go? By that time, it will take years together. In those days, from Rameshwaram, Sri Lanka to the Himalayas. Then they assigned Hanuman because he could fly. And then how to identify the plant? Said it will be like this, like this, like this. And Hanuman flew, and he had encountered a lot of obstacles. And then he landed on the Himalayas. He looked, every single plant looked exactly like that Sanjeevani Mulika. He said, it is impossible for me to understand because there was no telephone or email to find out exactly. He could have, otherwise, he could have taken a photograph and immediately, yes, yes, that you see, turn to the right, go forward for 3 feet, and to your right, that is the Mulika I want. But he simply brought the whole hill together, threw it at the feet of the Jamohan and said, now you pick up and do. Now, what am I trying to tell? That this Narada, he knew everything. There is not a single bit of knowledge which others knew, but which Narada did not know. He, what is called, cataloged the whole Vidyas. And then the Guru was a bit probably surprised, not really surprised. You are such a knowledgeable person. Why do you want to come? And then what did he say? I have studied all the Vedas, studied all the Upanishads. He knows all the Upanishads. And this is the story that is coming in the Chandogya Upanishad. And why did you come? He utters a beautiful word. You know what he says? He says, the Vidya that emerges out of the mouth of a realized soul alone can lead one out of the samsara. The others will be only intellectual knowledge. And then Sri Ramakrishna's teachings come to our aid. He remarks about two people, how true knowledge can be obtained. Says there are so many pandits, they can chant Vedas, they can explain with beautiful commentaries, but they are like vultures who soar so high, whose only sight is on the rotting corpses below, carcasses below. There are many pandits like that. But the other example is very wonderful. Unless you are an assistant, you work under a physician, Ayurvedic physician, you can't understand the pulse of a bile from the pulse of a cough, something like that, kapha, pitta, vata. The whole Ayurvedic Shastra has been summarized in those three. Everything else, every disease that can emerge was, is, and will be only from a proper, improper combination of these three things only, or whichever is dominant, kapha or vata or pitta. And that is the Ayurvedic theory of what is called curing diseases. Then Narada tells, I know Bhagavan, but one thing, unless a great realized soul explains these things, these will not be fruitful. So Sri Ramakrishna says, you work along with a physician, then you understand the difference between the one pulse and another pulse. Ayurvedic physicians mostly they diagnose by taking your hand and putting their fingers on the pulse, and then there are people who could really do that. And another example he gives, if you work only with weavers, then you understand the difference between number 40 thread, number 41 thread. The difference is so minute, it is impossible to find out. So, intellectual knowledge will not do it all. And it is inevitable that we have to approach a Sadguru. That is why this is called Guru Sishya Sampradaya, like Mundaka Upanishad. In this Kaivalya Upanishad also, this Brahmaji himself had taught to another person, this Asvalayana, a student, and he was a great grammarian. He was a great rishi also. What does he do? Approaches Parameshti. Parameshti means the greatest person for the sake of Brahma Vidya. And then he gives this highest knowledge is desired, is asked for, is cultivated only by sadbhi, good people. One that enables to reach the person who is greater than the great. So Brahma's answer will come, listen, that is called Shravana, and then think, ponder deeply, manana, and realize through nididhyasana. So I want to give you just a slight background. Vedas, our scriptures, they are called Paurishayas. That is, they are the direct revelations from God Himself. And when God gives, He can only give God. That is Brahmajnana. But to attain to Brahmajnanam, we have to be ready. And to be ready, our body should be proper instrument, mind should be proper instrument, and the mind must become pure. For that purpose, there is Karma Kanda and Gnana Kanda, Brahma Kanda. I like to refer to them as Dharma Kanda and Brahma Kanda. And Vedas wants people like us to realize there are two types of fruits we all seek. One is called Preyaha. Preyaha means Dharma, Artha, Kama. And Shreyaha means Moksha. One is a temporary result, another is a permanent result. One is a limited result, another is a permanent result. That is the distinction. So, the only Brahma Kanda, second part, but it doesn't mean the first part is redundant or completely unnecessary. What is the role of the first part? Called Karma Kanda, what I call Dharma Kanda. It will make a person pure, dharmic, what is called adhikari, sadhana, chatushtaya, sampannaha. What does it mean? He has 4 qualities, actually 9 qualities. Viveka, Vairagya, Shama, Dhamma, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana, and Uparati, and finally Mumukshutva. So when a person is ready, Guru imparts that knowledge in the form of a Mahavakya. What is the Mahavakya? It is the essence of all the Upanishads. What is a Mahavakya? It is Sarva Shastra Sara. What does it mean? It means you are having ignorance. Ignorance makes you feel there is multiplicity. And many things are there, many people are there, many objects are there, and that is called Dvitiya. What does it do? Dvitiyadvai bhayam bhavati. Fear comes because of the second. Why? Because as soon as we see somebody, even brothers are jealous of brothers, sisters are jealous of sisters, even husband and wife. If a wife is more intelligent and a bigger officer and earning more and having more power, definitely the husband wishes that he should be better person than his wife, because this terrible idea all over the world that the males are better than the females will never go away from their minds. But women are more intelligent. They say, oh man, you are only part of me. I am having 5 letters. You are having only 3 letters. So what does the guru do? To a fit disciple, Adhikari Purushaha, what does he do? He will give the essence of the Upanishads. That is called Upanishad. That is called Vedanta. Veda Anta means the essence of the Vedas or the Upanishads. And Tatparya Nishchayaha. Tatparya means the very essence. What is that essence? Aham Brahmasmi. What does the Guru say? Says Tattvamasi. Thou art that. But there are 4 Mahavakyas chosen. What is it? That first of all, Prajnanam Brahma. We can classify them as 4 steps, 5 steps, right? Really. First is Prajnanam Brahma. You are a conscious being, aware being. Without consciousness, you can't experience anything. That is why consciousness is everything. We have discussed so elaborately in our last class, Aitreya Upanishad. Tasmat Prajnanam Brahma, Prajnana Netraha, Prajnane Pratishtitam, Sarvam Prajnanam Brahma. So, consciousness is everything. Now, that is Prajnanam Brahma. That came in the Aitreya Upanishad. Then, Ayam Atma Brahma. This Ayam Atma, what you call, I am the body, I am the mind. Really, you are not the body, but you are that Prajnanam. Tattvam, that is the in general. Then Guru specifically comes and tells, when the disciple is ready, Tattvam Asi. You are Brahman. You are not the body. You are not the Brahman or mind. You are nothing but pure Brahman. That is what the Guru tells. This is called Mahavakya Shravana. Through the 3 steps of Shravana, listening with faith, Manana, ponder deeply until all doubts are removed, and Nididhyasana, transform your life so that the realization will come. As soon as we are pure, realization will automatically come. This is called Nididhyasanam. And what Guru said, then what does he do? He arrives at the knowledge through experience. What is that knowledge? Aham Brahmasmi. This is the 4th step. What is the last step? If that realized soul happens to still be having the body and mind because of prarabdha karma, then he sees not only, he knows not only he is Brahman, but there is nothing else excepting Brahman. That is the Kaivalyam. So, this Tatparya Nishchaya, this definitive essence summary of all the highest teaching that the Guru passes through his own, what is called knowledge, because realization is one, but how to pass on to the others, it requires what Sri Ramakrishna calls authority. Unless God's grace is there, every realized soul cannot become a real guru. That is the purpose. So now, how does he do it? And in our Upanishads itself, especially the Chandogya Upanishad, when the Guru is teaching Tattvamasi Shvetaketu, thou art that Shvetaketu, there are certain methodologies derived. It is called that methodology containing 6 characteristics. Upakrama upasamharau abhyaso apurvata phalam arthavado upapatti cha lingam tatparya nirnaye. Tatparya nirnaye. For ascertaining the true essence of all the scriptures, 6 characteristics must be applied. That shows our teachers do not blindly tell, you have faith in me, and God will be pleased if you go and murder somebody. He will not tell. Upakrama, Upasamhara. What are these Upakrama and Upasamhara? 6 things. Very briefly, I will tell you. Upakrama and Upasamhara. If a teaching begins, that is called Upakrama, beginning. Upasamhara means it is the ending. Simple example, you are Brahman. That is the beginning of the teaching. And so, after teaching, taking the disciple through so many arguments, examples, etc. So now it is decided you are none other than Brahman. Beginning, you are Brahman. Ending, you are Brahman. You are God. That is called Upakrama, Upasamhara, the very first characteristic. Then Abhyasa, repetition. Why Abhyasa? Because we are like stone walls, and Guru Padesha is like a nail made up of butter. And the Guru is trying to hammer it into our brains. It will take a long time. So repetition will go on until the disciple realizes it. That is the duty of the Guru, Abhyasaha. So again and again, remind this one. So I'll just tell you how many times Sri Krishna reminds. So one example, Girish Chandra Ghosh had completely surrendered himself to Sri Krishna. In fact, Sri Krishna asked him, give me your power of attorney. That means surrender yourself to me. And he did that. And then one day he forgot. And he forget means not willfully, but because of old habit. And he said, I will do this. And immediately this was said within the hearing of Sri Krishna, his Guru. And then he said, oh Girish, should you say that I will do it? You should say that if God permits, then I can do this. Immediately the intelligent Girish Chandra Ghosh understood. Sri Krishna is right. After surrendering your everything, you can't take it back and say, I know something, I want to do something. So this is Vyasa. And then Apurvata. A teaching should be unique, because if it is available everywhere, there is no uniqueness. Apurvata means what? Uniqueness. It is completely an idea that is suitable only for the disciple, and nobody else knows how to convey it. Only he knows it. This is called Apurvata. Though it may not be related strictly, but I will give you an example. Once Swami Dayatmanandaji, direct disciple of Holy Mother, developed unbearable migraine headache. So he immediately came down. He could not sleep, he could not eat. 24 hours it was troubling him. He came to Belur Math. At that time, Swami Brahmanandaji was the president. He went and laid bare his problem. And Brahmanji knew, of course, the remedy. But to reinforce his faith, he sent, you go and ask your Guru. That his Guru was Holy Mother. And immediately he went to Holy Mother. And as soon as Holy Mother saw him, he did not even, he just entered the room. Holy Mother had one look, said, my son, where are you meditating? When you sit for meditation, where do you concentrate your mind? In the head or in the heart? And he said, in the, what is called, head. So immediately on the forehead, where Agnya Chakra is supposed to be. Mother said, I never instructed you to do that. It is only meant for very few people, very highly advanced people. Never do that. And then for a few days, where is psychological treatment? Don't meditate. Because whenever he sits, that habit will come and headache will not go. So just eat. And he was joyfully, and Holy Mother was preparing so many things. I have my own doubts about the tastefulness of that food. Probably some others are also thinking, hopefully, I hope so. And he was very happy. Within few days, by Guru's grace, the whole thing has disappeared. And then he understood. That is why a guru is necessary. That is why we all need this one. And innumerable instances are there, like this in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. So, apurvata means uniqueness. Only a guru can give it to. Then phalam. What is the phalam? What are you going to get? It must be a phalam which the disciple is seeking. And he is not seeking dharma, artha, kama. He is only seeking moksham. That is why this is beautifully told. Yasya phalam asti, tatra tatparyam asti. We are all people where we know we can get something, we hope to get something, we run after it. Yatra phalam nasti, tatra tatparyamapi nasti. So where there is no hope of getting any fruit or we are not interested, the effort itself will not be there. So the fourth one is unique phalam. What is it? Brahmagnanam. Then fifth is Arthavada, a glorification. And this fruit that we are going to get cannot be got anywhere else. It can be got only through the Upanishadic teaching. That is why we say glorifying everything. Just in the Upanishad we say this person has obtained the Brahmagnanam. So Amut lokat utkramya, amushmin lokam utkramya, swarge loke. Immediately, as soon as the ignorance is destroyed, he finds himself in where? Swargaloka. Swargaloka means not somewhere else. Swargaloka means the loka, Brahman, self. And then he will be swimming in the ocean. Amrutaha bhavati. He becomes immortal. That is what we have seen. Samabhavat, samabhavat. That is called, so Arthavada, glorification, advertisement nowadays. You buy this soap, oh, everybody will run away from you. This is, everybody will be attracted to you. You use this scent, everybody will be running after you. This is the fifth one. Then upapattihi, throughout, from the beginning to the end, the logic, rationality should be there. Our Hindu scriptures never tell anybody, don't have any rationality, simply blindly trust. And Sri Ramakrishna discouraged people. Swami Vivekananda also discouraged people. You, even if all the God himself comes and tells me, until I understand it, I am not going to accept it. He had the courage even to say, I don't accept you as an incarnation of God. So these are the three things. And just I will repeat: Upakrama, Upasamhara, Abhyasa, Apurvata, Phalam, Arthavada, Upapatti. When the teachings of the Upanishad is taught, taking the help of all these six characteristics, apply them threadbare. That means no simply saying we can leave this one. All the six must be applied. And the greatest example is given. Tattvamasi Shvetaketu, 9 times it is repeated in the Chandogya Upanishad. So that is how the disciple will be firmly convinced that doing sadhana is worthy, and this is the only fruit for which we have to do sadhana. Everything else is completely wrong. Now, this Kaivalya Upanishad is, by its very name, as I mentioned, Mukti Upanishad, Moksha Upanishad. And Kaivalya Upanishad is a minor Upanishad. It doesn't fall under the 11, what is called Upanishads. Many people only talk Dasha Upanishad, but he also had written a commentary on the, some people believe in it. It's called Shvetashvatara Upanishad, which we also had occasion to expound. But definitely on 10 Upanishad Shankaracharya had written. This Kaivalya Upanishad is not one of them, but there are other Acharyas who have written because it is so beautiful. In any case, it is not only beautiful, it's very short and very sweet. So this belongs to Atharva Veda, and like Atharva Veda, it also has got a Shanti mantra. What is the Atharva Veda? Mundaka Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad. What is the Shanti Pata? Just as we have chanted it at the beginning of this class. So that is very important for all of us to understand. So finally, what is the Kaivalya? Kaivalya means ekatvam. Ekam, nityam, vimalam, achalam, shashvatam, divyam. These are the epithets. Why? Because dvitiyadvai bhayam bhavati. If there is a second one, bhayam will come. So that state of Advaita is the goal which this Upanishad, by the very word Kaivalya. If you say Katha, what is the meaning? Katha, very hard, very harsh. So many Upanishads do not give that direct meaning. Mundaka. Mundaka means indirectly shaven-headed. That means you become sannyasi for the sake of the highest knowledge. That means you renounce all other desires excepting the desire for God realization. So like that, Mandukya. In fact, Mandukya means frog. So there was a rishi called Mandukya Rishi. And so I explained to you also, you can go back. Mandukya Rishi thought, why is he called Mandukya? Because he straightway jumps from the worldly subjects to the spiritual subject. And Sri Ramakrishna had also a beautiful experience how his Kundalini, like a frog, jumps suddenly, quietly sitting. It suddenly takes a jump from one place, one leaf to the other leaf, from one place to other place. That is one of the experiences. But here, the Kaivalya Upanishad, beautiful. So, as mentioned earlier, this Upanishad belongs to Atharva Veda. It has a Shanti Pata. And what is that Shanti Pata? Bhadram Karnebihi Shrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyema Akshaviri Yajatraha Sthirairangai Tushtuvagam Sastanubihi Yashema Devahitam Yadayu Swastina Indro Vruddhashavaha Swastina Pusha Vishvavedaha Swastina Starkshu Varishtanemihi Swastino Brihaspati Ritadatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, O gods, may we always hear with our ears what is auspicious. May we see what is auspicious. May we live our God-allotted life, hale and hearty, always contemplating and worshipping you. May all the other gods, Indra of ancient fame, and then Pusha, the sun god, the Garuda, the Tarkshya, the Vahana of Bhagavan Vishnu, and may Brihaspati, may all of them be well disposed towards me, and so may they bless me so that I may attain Brahmagnanam without any obstacles. There is some meaning which I will deal with it in my next class. So then, Shanti, 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 3 times. Why? Because there are only 3 facts in this world: my body, the world, and gods who rule this entire world. There is nothing else in samsara excepting these 3. Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, and Adi Daivika. Such beautiful concept our rishis have formulated. Entire universe is nothing but the presiding deities of our body and mind and this entire universe, and the object which we call the universe, including our body and mind, and our Chidabhasa, pure consciousness, reflected pure consciousness, and mixing with body and mind and experiencing everything in the form of the body and mind, only 3. So let there be no obstacle, let there be peace. So what is the essence of any Shanti mantra? Why do we need to chant this Shanti mantra. First is naturally Shanti, means Vighna Nivarana, removal of any sort of obstacle that is already there or that may be coming during the course of my study under the feet of the Guru. So that is the prarthana by grace of God. Then second is Jnana Prapti. Not only removal of the obstacle, but to progress further, I require the blessings of Guru. The blessings of the Guru, nothing but the blessings of God. But we also require all my body, all the sense organs, karmendriyas and gnanendriyas and panchapranas and four, manaha, chitta, buddhi, ahankara, in a most optimum stage and also very healthy stage. That is possible only by God's grace. That is called Jnana Prapti or Yogyata. And then sometimes the Shanti mantra itself indicates, as I mentioned, in the case of Purnamadaha Purnamidam, for that Adaha Purnam is Brahman. This Idaha Purnam, this world is also Brahman. This world, that is Brahman with name and form, is only a manifestation, an appearance of that Paramatma. And so that Paramatma ever remains infinite only. There is no other way. So finally, that realization by the grace of God alone. This is a point I'm never tired of emphasizing. We want to be happy in this world, God's grace is necessary. We want to be happy in Swargaloka, God's grace is necessary. We want progress in any field of life, Mother Saraswati's grace is necessary. We want to go to God Himself, God's grace is necessary. Sri Krishna's whole teaching, Bhagavan Krishna says, only by my grace. Where did Krishna say that one? So he says, Taivi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratya. Impossible to get rid of this ajnana because it belongs to me. Then what is the way? That only by my grace. So they can cross over this difficult to cross ajnanam, God's grace alone. This is the essence of what is called the Shanti Patha, which I will elaborate in my next class a little bit more. Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapatni Tayo Sritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu.